Welcome back to Dire Strats Gaming. I am Tater, your host, and this is episode 2 of our first playthrough of Anno 117 on the Dire Strats channel. Where we left off last time, other than introductions, getting our game set up, just kind of getting everything going, picking our capital island. We kind of got our town going here. We are just in the early stages of setting up a capital in Capitus on our world map. We're doing pretty good so far. Our rivals have settled their islands as well. Oh man, you gotta love how the AI does things. They're really making use of this whole angled roads feature, are they not? Beautiful stuff. Tarragon, how you doing? Okay, this is it's a thing. He's done a thing, folks. There's a thing being done. Okay, perfect. So that is good. We are off to a better start than our rivals. Would not expect anything else. When we left off in the last episode, we had kind of maxed out our initial productions here on hemp and hats. That's okay. We have, I believe, enough raw materials to go ahead and make another of both. Yeah, we're overrunning hemp. We're overrunning our sheep. That is good. We're going to go ahead and put in more hats and everything. We have plenty of porridge and fish left to give. So our first thing is just going to continue to build out our population here. So let's go ahead. We'll unpause. We're going to put in some more houses. We're going to upgrade what we have here. And we're going to have just enough wood, I think, to finish that housing block. We still have more to go, and that's fine. So while we wait for wood, let's check and see what this guy wants. Libertus passes you, straining under a heavy load of timber. He carries the hopeful air of one who has recently celebrated his manumission, aka freedom from slavery. Despite his burden, he stops and hails you as his governor. How do you respond? Well, we're not going to seize his goods. That's dude just got out of slavery, man. You would have to be a pretty significant dick to seize his goods, knowing that he just got free. We could just wish him well, but I would like some more wood. I am definitely going to use it. We're just going to go ahead and buy his supply. He's going to like that. He's got some coin in his pocket, and now he doesn't have to carry that the whole way. So perfect. We've got some more wood. Oh, we already know about warehouses. I thought I turned tutorials off, Ben. Okay. Anyway. Going to continue with that. Now we have some more wood, so we can put in another housing block real quick. And we can actually put in two. I am going to leave this spot open. We're going to have use for that, and we're going to have use for this pretty soon. So looks like we can fit one more in here nice and even before we get up against the cliff. So that's awesome. If you wonder what I'm doing when I've got these blocks that are automatically competing, that's really easy, and it's a new feature that I like, especially for blocky people like me. If you just put your road icon in the middle of a block of houses, it will automatically encircle everything. Be careful, because it can create some really interesting shapes if it's not, flush the way you want it to, but I like the feature personally. Okay, so let's see how we're doing. Still, we have room for porridge, room for sardines. We need to build our next spot so people can buy tunics and everything. Our other one's kind of in the center of town where we see green arrows. That means people can still benefit from it. So I think we're just going to put a tunic here. I'm going to put a hat here. And now we should look a little better once those get going. We still have room for a bit more housing. That's good. We can go ahead and fill in this block right here. Cool. Now how are we looking? Alright, now we're getting a little bit closer to the edge, so to speak. So I am gonna... Let's just put some... that's not gonna fit evenly. That's slightly annoying. We'll do that. And we'll do this. Now how are we looking? Alright, now we're getting close to the edge. Okay, cool. So we are going to stop building for the moment. And let's just see what this guy wants. Oh, I'm going to rescue somebody from... am I going to have to do battle? We'll do that later. We will do that later. Certainly something we'll do, but we'll do it later. Okay, so from here, you can make the decision whether we just want to build out more Liberty housing or if we want to move up to our Plebian workforce. For now, I think I am just going to keep building more Liberty housing, because I think you can't have too much of that. There's no reason not to. It's super easy to set up the supply chains for it. So I'm going to go ahead, we'll plop down another sardine here, make sure it's connected. And that means I'm going to need more of everything over here, so another hemp farm. In fact, do I want to put a road there? I think I do want to put a road there. So we'll go ahead and run that across. And we will have our hemp chain, our hemp farm right there. Perfect. And he can make use of that spot. So let's let him build his marijuana fields right there. Like a good pot farmer. And we'll get that go back as far as it wants to. Great. Plenty of pot coming in. We're going to need more sheep for lots of reasons. So we'll go ahead and put down another sheep farm again. All the stuff in this alleyway will eventually be moved, but this is a perfect spot for it right now. You can still reach everything, right? You can. Good. And you can reach the warehouse up there. Perfect. Finally, okay, we got that, and on porridge, we're gonna need more. Yep, okay. So, before we do this, let's go ahead and set our island deity, because we're at the point now where we could benefit from this stuff. It's probably going to be Ceres, although there is some interesting cases for some other things. We've got lavender, grape, we've got our flax and shells, more, we've got oysters, and we have iron. Let's see what choices we have here. So Ceres, always a good choice. She is going to also help us out with Tarragon. He is a big fan of Ceres. But, so, we have grapes. That's something we're going to like to get use of. No olives here. No beer here, obviously. We are going to have oats on every island, and bread. That's always helpful. So Ceres is a strong pick. I don't think these shells will help us, though this one will with oysters eventually. But otherwise, Neptune is okay. But we're not going to be making a lot of war, so we're going to avoid Mars. We don't have some of these unlocks yet. We do have access to our Albion gods thanks to the Hall of Fame. This has mostly to do with livestock. The pig bonus is really nice. The sheep, not as much. And this is going to be mostly Albion stuff. So I think Ceres is the clear choice here. We're going to scroll back down to her and set our patron. And eventually we'll have a sanctuary, and our belief with her will go way up. As you can see, Tarragon likes our selection. So that's a good thing as well. Alright, so now that we have our deity, we are going to go, let's see, we've got more fish in. We still need another oat farm. Right. So, put the oats right there, and we're actually going to let them do this weird hook thing and fill in this space just for now. Like I said, eventually we're going to have to redo all these farms when we're granted bigger fields, aqueduct fertility, all sorts of stuff. So, but for now, that's going to set us up really nicely. Alright, so we have everything we need to keep going. Let's see, let's just build. We're going to place more of those things in a minute. Yeah, we've got our sardines, we have plenty of porridge at the moment. We're going to put more hats and more tunics as we go this way. So, as we work in this direction, it's going to make sense for us to go ahead and figure out where a governor mansion is going to be. Right now we don't have it. We will in a minute though. Yeah, let's go ahead and put in our first fire station. And yeah, we don't have the clay yet. Okay, this is all a good point. This is why we should look into moving up to Plebians. We will in a minute. We're going to keep building houses for the moment. We'll just make a couple more housing blocks right here. And then I think our governor mansion's probably going to park itself right over here somewhere. Alright, let's circle these houses. They should all be pretty happy with coverage. Yeah, we're starting to get to the edge of our market coverage now. That's alright. We need to put our new tunic and hat shops down. We can do that. let's plop you. Yeah, most of you have coverage here, don't you? Over here, don't have great coverage quite yet. I think for now, we'll put you there. We'll put you right behind him. And we're going to go ahead and put in some roads. Right there. So you have access to everything. Perfect. Now everyone should be happy. We can put a few more houses in, and we should. Because that's just more money, more taxes. More money, more problems. Alright. Drop you. I think we can fit you in without our governor's mansion. If not, we'll just move the block, because that's what we could do in this game. How are we looking? Alright, we're getting a little closer to our capacities. I'm okay with leaving it the way it is, and we will move up to our plebeians. So, one thing... Oh, right, you're going to be cranky. You don't have a warehouse over there. We will put in... We'll probably end up moving this warehouse eventually. But for now, you can have one right there. Cool. So, this is a good time to go check out Diana. She probably has some construction materials we can buy from her that'll kind of speed up our next step here. We're going to start our research as soon as we get our plebeians going. Right now she just has wood, so we need to upgrade to some plebeians on our island, and then she's going to start offering tiles, which is something we're going to need plenty of as well. So, these houses here around our market and tavern are going to be the most equipped for our upgrades. We're going to put a Grammateus here and a sanctuary over here. So these are going to be our first plebeians. Welcome, plebes. We'll just go ahead and do 3 blocks worth of plebeians. And we can always expand if we need more. So, now we have a whole other population tier to deal with and more production chains to deal with. They want bread. They want garum. Remember what I said about the mackerel fertilities. We can get 50% fertility thanks to some things that we already have unlocked in the Hall of Fame. And we can find that, let's see, right there. So you see we already have 50% mackerel population on every island. That is a beautiful Hall of Fame benefit. A few other little things that we have, access to Cernos, access to Multilurgus, which will happen eventually, where we don't need the woods for our lumberjacks. Little things like that. We can go ahead and boost farms with our aqueducts. These are just things that make our life easier. Things I'm going to get started. Right now we don't have a ton of research, but we will momentarily. We definitely want our market coverage to expand. We want our flagship to have more ship slots. We're going to want... Let's go ahead and get our sewing circles going, because that gives us even more knowledge. That'll just make everything else go faster. We can go ahead and take fish markets so we get some income coming off of our docks. That'll be a limited thing that helps us. We're definitely going to want paved roads pretty quickly. So we'll just go ahead and stick mostly to the economy side of things right now. That reminds me, we probably have some items we can unlock here. Let's go ahead and plop down our Grammaticus. We're going to have to build tiles before we can formally build this out. But I'm thinking we're going to want it on this side of the block. Maybe we want it on this side of the block. We'll put it there for now. We can move it. And we'll place our sanctuary as well. This is why we have our plebeians in the center, because they're going to get coverage from both. And our first paved roads will certainly be around this block right here when we get to them. So, what do we want to do next? We want to get our tiles production chain going, because we are going to want that stuff. So, we just need a river slot for that. We don't necessarily want one that's right next to town, because that is going to impact fire safety. We have plenty of wood for bridges. This is a good time to start building out an industrial area, which I think is going to be best suited over here. We are going to put our flour mills here close to town, although we're probably going to need to have both. For now, just for the sake of simplicity, let's go ahead and make a... of course you would do that. Oh, that's so annoying. Okay. We're going to make a angle here, and we're going to come across... Oh, my God. Okay, fine. Fine. You win, game. Okay. Anyhow, we're going to make this into our clay pit. And that'll be okay for now. If we want to move it later, we can, but let's get this going as quick as we can. Clay pit here. It doesn't intrinsically have any bad juju, but our tilers will, and we're actually going to need some charcoal burners too. So let's go ahead and we'll get the tilers. We're going to set them up right in the path of our warehouse. You're going to curl around, go this way. Can you still reach? Of course you can't. We're going to... So we don't have to build another warehouse. We're just going to move it closer for now. It's going to mostly just feed these brickworks anyway. Tilers, sorry. I say brickworks because I'm still used to Anno 1800. So, tilers, they're going to be good. It's going to start filling them with clay. Now we need charcoal. For now, we don't have the unlock that allows us to put charcoal anywhere. We must put it in some woods. We'll keep this one close by. No issue there. This is going to be a perfectly nice set of woods to set it in. Kind of set it on the edge to where the road can get to it easily. Looks like we're going to end up building that other warehouse anyway, actually. But for now... You can go right there. You can go right there. Didn't cut down any trees. You can reach the bricks, but you can't reach a warehouse. We'll just put in another one. It's not like it's that expensive. We'll put it right there for now. Okay, so we have tiles coming online. That is good. Remember what I said about not being stingy with your construction materials. This is another case where not being stingy is a good idea. So I actually am going to go ahead and make use of another river slot. We're going to put another clay pit in, and we're just going to get even more tiles going because, again, we're going to want a lot of these things. And we can supply other islands with them as well. No reason not to make use of the river slots that we have, so 2 more tilers. That's going to be a lot of fire hazard, safety, blah, 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 but that's okay. A trade-off that is 100% worth it right now. Charcoal creates itself every 30 seconds. These are every minute. We should have plenty of charcoal rolling in to furnish everything, but let me make sure. We may need a second one. Nah, we're good. We have exactly enough charcoal. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to have plenty of clay tiles rolling in. That means we can build all the other stuff that we're going to need for Tier 2 population. Next thing is going to be our wheat farms, which feed into our grain mills, which also need river slots in this version of Anno. And then we're going to need more charcoal for our bread ovens. So I am going to go ahead. Let's just go ahead and get ahead of the game. Having a surplus of charcoal is never a bad thing in this game. So we're going to make you another charcoal pit. You're outside the range of those buildings. That's a good thing. And hopefully your fertility won't get too screwed up by me doing this. Ah, of course. Just barely. You would be like that, wouldn't you? Okay. What if I move you? Okay, that's fine. Perfect. Alright, we have enough charcoal for everything that we're going to be doing. And we've got tiles rolling in. I think this one, you take 5, or you take 10, and you take 5. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll get grain farms up and running. Alright, so that's you, and here we go for grain farms. And we're going to build them in our farming section right over here. And once again, we're going to need more room later. But for now, this is going to be all good. Fill you up. And we're going to need, I believe, 2 grain farms for now to feed 1 flour mill. So, put in a second grain farm. No biggie. Fill out your fields. Build from back to front. And there we go. This is why I like to do these against the mountains, because you get to use all this negative space that would have been hard to build in otherwise. So, plenty of wheat rolling in now. And we need our flour mill, which I think is going to go up here. Can I make use of the warehouses I already have? You might be able to reach this one. I don't know. That's going to be touchy, but we can try. No reason not to try. May have to move a little bit. Alright, grain mill, are you hooked up? Not quite. Alright, so now you're hooked up. You can get to there. You can get to there. You can get to there. Okay, so that means this should be parked right there. For now. That is going to be fine, and that maximizes our warehouse usage. Very nice. Actually, we'll put you right there for slightly better efficiency. What do you need, Ben?
I await your instructions.
A monocled woman is escorted into your presence. She is guilty of violating the law of majesty, claiming to be a goddess and gathering followers. The Empire is very touchy about such claims, but the woman insists that she and her people pose no threat. Decide this woman's fate. So, a lot of these decisions have favor with the Emperor as a potential side effect. As you can see, if I pay her to renounce her divinity, Emperor Julia Augusta dislikes this, and we want to be in her good graces, because she is going to affect things like how much it costs us to settle other islands. We can get consul status with her. We just want to be in her favor. So, gosh, we can execute her for a happiness penalty, but a big reputation change. And we can exile her for no effect. For now, I know this is harsh. This is not probably how I would govern, but because plus 10 reputation change is pretty big, and this debuff will wear off eventually, we're going to eat the happiness penalty. We'll offset it with some police and things like that, and we're going to execute her. Yikes. Sorry, monocled woman. I'm sorry. I just like the Emperor too much, and I don't know you. You could be crazy. This could be another one of those cult situations. We're just going to rationalize this as the fact that you're breaking the law. This is the year 117, and this is something we're so worried about that this is an execution thing for you. Okay, all right. Not living in the present. I'm clicking the button now.
Quite the striking turn of events.
Yes, a very striking turn of events. Look at that negative happiness penalty now. Ouch. Okay. We are going to get that back. In fact, yes, good. We have our governor's villa available, and that is going to help tremendously in recovery on that. So, where do we want to put it? This looks like a pretty good spot with it aimed this way. We'll rotate it because I kind of want the courtyard facing the street over here. I don't see any reason not to make this the spot for it. So maybe a little higher. Nah, let's go ahead and put it right here. Bam. Okay. So now that we have our governor's villa, the Hall of Fame is going to benefit us greatly. In fact, we have the tiles right now, so I'm going to go ahead and get the knowledge going from the Grammaticus, because that is going to help us research so much faster. You can see the jump right there. Okay, so we have lots of cool specialists already from the Hall of Fame. We have 4 slots to plug them in. Let's do it. Actorius Maximus, he gives us more income. He may be one we want. Happiness from sandals. Prestige from sandals. We're going to be providing sandals very soon. So we're going to go ahead and slot in Aaron Speedius Fastus. So quite the name. We're going to go ahead and put you in. I believe you're military. You are. We don't quite need you yet. Yes, belief and additional knowledge and lower upkeep is great. You, yep, more belief and knowledge, abso-friggin-lutely. And our final spot, your additional workforce, but a happiness penalty, so we are going to take the additional income and the lowered upkeep. So now we're maximizing our governor's villa, and we no longer have the exposure of this being our, hey, if you break this, then the whole game is over kind of thing. It's going to be much harder to assault us up here, especially once we have our walls put in, definitely. As I said before, don't be stingy with your construction materials. We have our 12 tiles. We're going to go ahead and build our sanctuary, which we might end up moving over one block. We will see. We have a celebration. Let it be happiness. Income. That's okay. We will obviously take it. We have enough porridge. We might as well save our money. Fantastic. So who is the Venerator of Artemis? Are you worth swapping anyone? No, you are not. Okay. All good. All right. So let's keep building things out here. Now that we have tiles coming in, we definitely should get our first fire protection going. We're going to put that right here. And since we have a huge happiness penalty we're dealing with now, we're definitely going to get some cops going here, which, you know, kind of hilarious that cops provide happiness. That's just honestly the game's mechanic for counteracting unrest. Happiness is more like the tendency to be restless, I would say. I don't know if I'm describing it that well. But yeah, it gives plus happiness to counteract the chances for riots. So we're actually going to put one Custodia here. And we're going to put another one right next to the villa. That's going to give us substantial coverage. And that puts our happiness back into the positive. So we are not at risk for any major incidents, at least for now. Still can't build the Medici. We're not quite there yet. And there's some other small buildings that I'd like to put in, which we will get to soon. Okay, I think this is a... Oh, before we sign off, let's go check on Juliana. What can we buy from you, my dear? Excellent, excellent. So money in this game is easy to come by. I do not mind splurging on myself, as Diana would say. We're going to take all those tiles. We'll even take the wood. We may not need it, but no reason not to. And we... Is this a decent captain? Nah, we don't need that quite yet. So we are just going to take that, and we are going to sail home with that. And while we're sailing home with that, I'm going to put in a cut here. Thanks again for coming to our channel. This has been Dire Strats Gaming. I am Tater, and we'll see you in the next episode where we're going to expand more into the rest of the Plebian production chain. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will catch you later. See ya.